So first of all, we are going to look at the Terrarium. This is a small tall glass terrarium and it was 45 by 45 by 60 centimetres. I got this from Swell Reptiles for £84.99. One thing I have noticed, because I've now had the gecko once overnight, is that last night I heard this rattling and basically it was trying to get onto the roof and it makes a bit of a rattling sound, but I don't think he was very successful afterwards, so yeah, he didn't do that, but it did make a bit of a noise. And I was also surprised that the background was polystyrene, because I've always thought it's acrylic because it looks so good. He or she, I think it's she, is actually asleep on it behind one of the plants at the moment. Now, if we move on to things that are outside the terrarium. Okay, so this is the Repashy food that pretty much everyone feeds their Crested Geckos on. You pretty much feed this to them all the time and they can have the odd cricket. You could get 3 ounces for 10 quid or 6 ounces for 15, so I figured I'll get 6 ounces. This I bought off eBay, but you can get straight from the Repashy website. It's both by the same seller, Lily Exotics I think she is, and she also breeds and sells Crested Geckos. I don't know if she's the same company or she just represents part of the company, but anyway, there are places to check out. Okay, so here I have the item that measures the temperature and humidity. It's by ReptiZoo. I'm going to be honest, it's not my favourite thing. I paid 10 quid for this off eBay. For some reason it has your moon phase on, your weather, even though the weather's technically wrong because it's sunny outside and the weather says it's raining outside. I don't know how great it is with humidity, because I put it near some Eco Earth that had like water coming out of it in a container, and it didn't alter the humidity, and there was a lot of humidity in that. I then popped it in the fridge to see how that would change the temperature, and it did change, but it just didn't seem to react very quickly. I think it's higher humidity than it's reading, so I'm not overly impressed by this. I then just got a standard spray bottle. I got this off eBay because I sort of needed one quickly and I couldn't get one locally, so I had to order it. It was £1.99, then 99p delivery. Can't really complain, does its job. The substrate, as you can see, I'm just using paper towel or kitchen roll. This is just a simpler way of, because I have to clean it out every week, so it's just simple, take it out, replace it. Okay, so now inside the terrarium. Now I've got to say I'm pretty happy with this. When you have a Crested Gecko, you know, they like to hide and get up in the plants and everything, and one thing I've noticed definitely in the morning is you can't find them so well blended in, but I know where she is at the moment, so I know she won't just come out when I'm filming this. Okay, so let's start off with this big plant in the middle. So this plant is listed as like a gecko plant. They actually say on Swell Reptiles that it's perfect for Crested Geckos. I haven't seen her use it yet, it's only been in there a day with her, but it looks very sturdy and very big and looks like it's going to actually support her weight. And that was £8.90. So carrying on with Swell Reptiles, I also got this vine, which you may be able to see, this light brown one. Not really impressed with it. It's not what I expected from the picture. It actually looked like sort of a stick, a very strong one that would actually like reach the top, and I thought that would be perfect, and I got it, and it's actually quite limp, and the only reason it's stood up is because it's connected to this vine, and this vine's only stood up because it's connected to the piece of wood, which I'll get to in a minute. The other thing is you pretty much have to fold it in half for it to be really secure, so you're actually getting half what you want, because it was originally 60 centimetres, about 30 now. I paid £7.39. It works at the moment. I've made it work with all the other vines, but if I would have known what it was like before purchasing it, I probably wouldn't have got it. Another thing I got from Swell Reptiles is in the far corner, quite dark, but it's just a plant in the corner that you can stick to the side. That was only £3.59, and that is where my gecko's hiding at the moment, so it must be pretty good. Now one of the best bargains is this plant. down here. This is a massive plant and I got it from Pets at Home. It was under Giant Aquatic Plants. It was in the shop, it said 10 quid. Took it to the till and it was only a fiver, and it pretty much covers this whole side and all the way down, so I'm very happy with that one. Another thing I got from Pets at Home is the Exoterra small jungle vine. You can get a thicker one. This one was 7 quid. I think I've seen it cheaper online since I bought it, but you know, you've got to really fold it in half and twist it to make it sort of strong. On its own, I just found that it just fell over. It didn't hold its shape at all. It's cool, it works, and I guess that's what vine does. If you want it to be bendable, it's not going to be really tough. But yeah, it works like this. Another thing I bought, which I brought on the day of getting my gecko just because there was something needed filling in the corner, was this flower. It's right at the back there. It adds a bit of colour, and that was £8.50. But that was cheaper in Pets at Home than I could find online, so I'm happy with that. Then other items I brought was this canopy Exoterra food dish. Gotta say, it's not my favourite thing. So it might be because I have really high expectations of it. I was really excited, and I slightly thought that it was going to be on there magnetically, because a lot of these ledges you find for Crested Geckos are magnetic, so you can easily take them off and so on. But what I found was you have to stick it down. It comes with like a self-adhesive thing, but spraying your tank down all the time, it just makes me think that that's going to be getting loose, and this is so heavy, so I'm not sure. But you can also slide this off, but I'm not going to do it yet, but I guess that's easy for cleaning. The other thing that slightly annoyed me, it didn't come with like even a little dish, and the top of it, you can, I guess, put food straight in, but it's far too deep for a Crested Gecko to be able to even get food. So I thought, okay, I'll use a bottle lid, because that's the smallest type I could find. And this, with the food in, actually wouldn't even fit in the circle, so I've had to put it where the water would go. And I've seen loads of places it says you can add water in, but they don't really drink it. They prefer to drink it off walls, so I don't fill that up with water, I just spray down the walls. What I might be doing, actually I have already ordered it, is buying some moss, and I might fill that up and make it so the dish can fit in there, and fill some moss some other places to help with humidity. But that was, I think, £12.89 off of eBay. Another thing you may be able to see just down here, this is a vine, and it all spreads around here and all down here. This is actually one of the vines that I'm going to put in the giveaway. You know, I said I had one of my own that I put around Ziggy and Minnie's tank just on the outside. Well, I looked at it the other day and I thought, actually, this could come in handy. So what I've done, as I don't have any suction pads at the moment, I've actually tied it to the mesh, 2 parts to the mesh roof, and then the rest of it wraps around. And another thing I am using, I think it's an Exoterra canopy, or just any old canopy, I don't know, but it used to be in Diego's tank. It's this one, and there's 2 big leaves, really strong. It's attached to the bottom, it's very secure. Don't worry, I totally, completely disinfected it before using it for this gecko. It's just Diego didn't need it. He needs more land room than height with like plants and stuff, and his new hide has a plant attached to it, so he doesn't really need this one. So I thought that would be a nice little sit-in place right at the front of the tank. And finally, one of the things you can barely see because it is really well camouflaged, and this is one of my favourite things I've bought, and it was one of the cheapest, was this piece of wood. I got it from a garden store that sells aquarium things and reptile things, and basically it was like a certain price for a kilogram, and I think it weighed around 900 grams, so I got it for £5.50, and it's actually brilliant. It sits into the background really well, so it's very secure. It's actually the only reason why these vines are all standing up so well, because it's so secure and strong. When I first put my Crested Gecko in here, she sat on it for ages. It's just brilliant, and it's the same colour as her, so she blends in well, she feels nice and secure. And that's definitely one of my best buys. Unfortunately, it's from a local shop, so I can't really direct you in that way. You can't get it online, but I'm sure people sell stuff like that online. So this has been my sort of terrarium tour and the setup, and To be honest, I'm pretty happy. It's really cool having a setup that's totally different to the leopard geckos, and so you get to find all these different decorations and everything, and just different living conditions for a lizard. One thing I will say, please do not ask me what is like £3 in US dollars or something like that. If you're on the internet watching this, then you could easily go over to Google and literally write GBP to USD into Google, and it comes up and you can just write in how much and it converts it for you. So, because I've had that before and I hate that, it seems a little lazy. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video.